In this lecture, we will start and do some questions on the microeconomics part of UGC NET. In total, we would be doing approximately more than 600 questions related to microeconomics. And these are all the mock questions that you can expect in the exam. Let us ask the first question. The first question says, the law of demand refers to. Very easy. We know that there is a negative relationship between quantity demanded and price of the commodity. Hence, the law of demand refers to a negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. So the right answer is C. Now let's go ahead to the next question. So this is the right answer, C. Second question. In a typical demand schedule, quantity demanded varies directly with price, varies proportionately with price, varies inversely with price. We know that the demand law of demand says that there is an inverse relationship between quantity demanded and price. So we know that there is an inverse relationship between the two. So downward sloping demand curve. So the answer is it varies inversely with the price. So C. Let's go ahead to the next question. Normally, when prices per unit of a good falls, it's now understand we are saying what happens when price falls. So very simple. Suppose initially we are at point A. At point A, this is the price and this is the quantity. When price falls to suppose 9, then the quantity demanded increases. So whenever the price decreases, quantity demanded increases. So the answer is, what happens to quantity demanded? It increases. So the answer is A. So these are all the questions related to the first basic topic, which is the law of demand. Let's go ahead to the next question. A fall in price of a commodity leads to. Now, whenever the price of the commodity decreases, it leads to one, shift in demand. No, because price comes on one of the axes, any change in price will always lead to movement along the demand curve, but it will never lead to shift of the demand curve. So answer A is wrong. Fall in demand, wrong, because there is an inverse relationship. So whenever the price decreases, quantity demanded should have increased. A rise in consumers' real income, yes, that can be the case, because real income of the consumer is M by P, which is income divided by prices. So when price of the commodity decreases, so for example, your price is 1 rupee, and let's take something more. Let's say the price is 10 rupees, your income is 1000, then your real income is 100 units, which is nothing but 1000 by 10. Now, when your price decreases to 5 rupees and your income remains constant at 1000, then this means that you will be able to buy 1000 by 5, which is 200 units. So, this means that the quantity, what you buy has increased, or in real terms, your real income has increased. So the answer for this one is C, that there is a rise in consumers' real income. Whenever the price decreases, real income increases. Now let's go ahead to the next question. Whenever there is so it says demand schedule is shown as. So demand schedule is nothing but it is the locus of all points. Which points? Locus of all points PQ, and the locus of all these points show an inverse relationship between the demand, quantity demanded and price. So let's go to the question now. Demand schedule is shown as a result of increase in size of family, a result of change in state, a function of price alone. So demand schedule is shown as a function of price, right? Because we are showing demand schedule as a relationship between demand schedule as a relationship between demand, quantity demanded and price. So how do we show that relationship? We say that the relationship is something like this. So quantity demanded is a function of the price of the commodity, and this function is negative. There is a negative relationship between the two. So the answer is C. Let's go to the next question. Market demand for any good is a function of A, price per unit of the good, price per unit of other goods, income of the consumer, taste of the consumer, all of the above. The answer is E, all of the above. So we are now talking about what does the demand of any good depend upon. So the demand of any good, market demand also and individual demand also. So the demand of any good depends on the price of the commodity, it depends on the price of the other goods, it depends on the preferences of the consumer, it depends on the income, it depends on a lot of other things, it depends on the price expectations, it depends on how urgent or how important that commodity is to you, whether you can shift its demand to the near future or not, etc. However, you have to understand that only this price and demand are shown using the demand curve, and all other factors lead to shift in the demand curve, which is something that we have explained as part of our lecture. So this is the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, whereas this entire thing is shown as a shift of the demand curve. But this also affects your demand and this also affects your demand. So the answer is E.